Bryers Cucumber Tostinos. What exactly is Bryers Cucumber Tostinos? And why does it sound so delicious? Welcome to the Film Trap Podcast. I am Chris Gore. I hope you're having a good day today. It's always a good day when I get to talk to independent filmmakers about their movies. I have Christopher J. Hall, whose movie Bryers Cucumber Tostinos has been playing the festival circuit, is going to be playing the Sherman Oaks Film Festival actually in November. So look that up at the old, I love that theater. It's the old ArcLight, which is now a Regal.
Yeah. R.I.P. ArcLight.
Previously the ArcLight. Christopher J. Hall, welcome to the Film Trap Podcast.
Hey, thanks so much. Thanks for having me.
Cool. Where did this, first of all, I know what Bryers Cucumber Tostinos is, and it sounds like you combined sort of crazy stuff that you would get at Bryers Ice Cream, Tostinos, that it's like you were inspired by stopping by a 7-Eleven, but that's actually the name of the lead character for your film. Tell us about the movie and the development of, because I'm like, this is the weirdest. This short is, and I'm saying this as a compliment, is just bizarre. But explain where the inspiration for the title and then the lead character came from.
Well, I have two buddies of mine who I've been working with for a couple of years. Patrick Tamasia is just like a comedy legend. He's a guy who performs regularly at the West Side Comedy Theater in Santa Monica. And this was a character that he had started kind of doing as a sketch a little bit. And I came and saw it one night and he just killed it. And it was pretty rough. And he had some ideas of what it could be, but it was just funny. And I said, we got drinks one night and I said, man, we should do this as a short. It's just a great character. It's a great world. And so we started writing it. And I brought in another buddy of mine named Nick Leeds, who's a TV writer. And the three of us kind of spent, a good 6 months fleshing out this bizarre kind of story about like a man boy who lives in a corner market waiting for his mom to come pick him up. And we played with a lot of like ridiculous ideas. At one point, there was going to be a whole stop motion sequence in there. But we ended up really just like focusing on this weird character and the ways that he kind of gets along with everybody in his little world. And I think, thanks to an amazing cast that we got, Maggie Mae Fish, who played the kind of love interest, the girl, Kevin, we just had like a amazing cast of cameos and people who got involved that we really just were so thrilled with.
Well, I gotta ask about Kevin Pollak is in your movie.
Yeah.
I love Kevin Pollak. He does just an amazing Christopher Walken imitation. He must have been just, first of all, fun to have. He has to be fun to have on the set. That I know. I also know he plays poker. But what's he like to work with on a movie? Like, first of all, one, how did you get Kevin Pollak? And what was it like just to work with him? He just seems like, and I met him once and I don't even remember what it was at, but I met him once. It was just like super pumped to meet him and just been a follower of his work for years. So how'd you get him and what was it like to work with him?
So Patrick knows Kevin from the West Side Comedy Theater. I think Kevin is kind of like one of the patron saints of that place. And they had kind of struck up a friendship between the two of them. And it was just kind of out there that he was somebody that we had met and maybe he would consider being a part of this film. So I think we wrote a character really for him, thinking, hey, we'll ask him and we'll see if he is down. If he has a schedule opening, we'll just go for it. And when he finally said yes, he was basically like, look, I'll give you like 3 hours. I mean, he's a very busy guy. He's on Marvelous Mrs. Maisel while we were shooting this. So he was just kind of like, we had a very tight window with him and we were thrilled to have that. But I think, his presence on the call sheet and just being a part of the whole production made everybody else take the whole thing a little bit more seriously. When you have somebody with that kind of, legendary credit list, and who everybody is kind of just thrilled to like be in their presence, in their aura. We just had such a good time. And, it would be one thing if it was like bringing on a really like strict theatrical character actor, but Kevin is just like so funny that when he shows up, everybody's kind of like really tense to do their best job, but also he just disarms everybody and kind of puts everybody right at ease. So it was just like the best environment of a set. We had so much fun. We just like, we were laughing the whole time, and we were stuck in this super weird kind of bodega in Burbank that had been there for like 70 years. I mean, it was, and it probably had not been cleaned for 70 years. So it was a bit of a weird place. And I think it really became another character in the piece, this location. And it really, helped make the movie feel really unique. And I don't know, the location was great, the cast was great, the crew was great. It was one of those experiences where everything just kind of like came together and worked.
Well, Kevin, he kind of has like an energy. He definitely raises the bar, I think. But the fact that, because he's in the whole movie, right? I mean, he's basically in the whole movie. Yeah. So you shot him out in 3 hours. So kudos.
Tight.
Yeah, I know. I had a similar situation with Bob Odenkirk, was in a film that I did, and I had him for like, he's in the whole movie, but we shot him out like all like this intense like 30 minutes of shooting. We had 30 minutes to shoot, but he's the recurring character in the film. So I feel for you on that. I think yours was more complicated.
Well, we definitely, like, I brought in a great first AD, this guy, Stephen Pridisic, and he's somebody who just kind of like took on the challenge of figuring out how do we logistically make this happen, because definitely Kevin had a lot of lines, a couple scenes, I mean like 4 scenes that he was in. So we had to really like optimize our shooting schedule in a way that really like hustled, but we got it. And, Kevin, as much as like we all loved having him be a part of it, we had 10 people in the cast. So there was, even beyond Kevin and his time, there was like a lot of scheduling, juggling going on to try to get through all of that stuff. And everybody who was a part of it just like showed up, was on time, just killed it. And, just for a short that was like a passion project, it was just one of those things where we had everything just went so smoothly. It just kind of like came together. Our only hiccup was that we finished this thing. The editorial finished basically March of 2020, just as another small little event was starting to take place around the world. Of course, a deadly zombie virus that wiped out the world as we know it.
We were just talking before we were recorded about like you finished the movie in March of 2020.
Yeah.
Like I feel for you, man. Like virtual festivals. I think that's first of all, I've actually enjoyed some of the virtual festivals. Like Slam Dance did a thing where for $10 you basically it's like subscribing to a streaming service for a brief window, right? Like you get access. So I've actually liked some of the virtual festivals, but there's nothing like seeing your film live in a room with a bunch of people. But this is, so were you able to screen it for a bunch of people, or will the premiere at the Sherman Oaks Film Festival in November, will that be the first time you're seeing it with a lot of people?
That'll be our first real live audience. I mean, we just, for a long time, the theaters were just shut, period. And there was no option for us to really have a live screening. And then we had, because of all of the festival applications, the link was kind of password protected and we couldn't really like put it out wide. I think we're starting to get to a point where we're going to just release it to the public and let anybody who wants to watch it. But I think this screening that we're going to have in November, look, especially for a comedy piece, there's just nothing like being able to have an audience there in person to be able to watch it along with, to see what works, what people are laughing at, to walk out of the theater and have people respond to it. And just kind of like that feeling. I mean, there's nothing quite like that. I was a theater student in college and was always a part of productions all the time. And, that's just kind of like in my blood. I think it's a drug that every once in a while you just need to have that feeling of like being a part of a show, walking out of the theater and having your friends and family just kind of like give you a thumbs up. There's just nothing in life like that. So I think we're really excited about this screening coming up in November, and hoping to get as many people out as possible. So if that's in your neighborhood, your neck of the woods, come out.
All right. Well, I don't know if you're listening to this on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, whatever, but if you're watching this on YouTube, we'll put the information in the description on YouTube about the screening. And once you eventually release the film, if you release it on YouTube, if you decide to do that, we can put that there as well. Christopher, where can people go to get more information about the film?
I think the place to get more information about it is probably to follow us on Instagram. I'm at Penumbra Pics. That's my Instagram handle. And we have, updates when they come along. I also, we have a website for like my personal production company, penumbra-pictures.com. And if you want to follow us along, give us a shout on Instagram and we'll follow you back.
All right. And tell them you saw this podcast interview. Great. Chris, thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
Hey, thanks so much.